Hi, I'm Pete with FoamFit Tools, and today I want to show you some new foam organizers I've designed for icon tools. Today, this video, we're going to focus on screwdrivers, hex keys, and T-handles. I'm working on wrenches, but that's going to be the next video. This organizer fits two icon T-handle sets. There's a 8-piece metric set and an 11-piece SAE set. And I'll pin the part numbers for the tool sets and I'll also pin our part number for the foam in the comments so that you don't have to hunt around for those numbers. The metric set starts at 2 millimeter and it goes 2.5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10. Skips the 7 millimeter size, but a lot of T-handle sets do. What Icon's done, we call this a T-through handle. It's got a long blade and a short blade. Then they overmold a nice big handle on it, and they do a contrasting color to mark the size. So we like some of the things they've done with this set. SAE set starts out at 5/64, and then they've got 3/32, 7/64, 1/8 inch, all the way up to 3/8. And we've put some of the more common sizes, like a 3/16 and the quarter. We've got them kind of in the center of the layout. You know, that's your saga head cap screw, a 1/4 20. This would be your 5/16, and then like your button head cap screw is going to be a 5/32. That would be like a 1/4 20 button head. So we try to lay this out so that the sizes that you're most likely to be reaching for are kind of in the center. Now, Icon has trays that come with a lot of their sets. So these are the two trays. This is the tray for the metric set. This is the tray that comes with the SAE set. These are vacuum molded plastic trays. So it's nice. It's a nice way to start out. And we know, of course, that we have to do something a little bit better than these trays in order to sell these. So one of the things you'll see, no matter how I flip these, it takes more space to fit the trays than it does to fit our foam layout. So we've sized this 22.25 wide and 19 3/8 deep. That's sized for a US General Series 3 drawer size. That drawer you'd find in a 27-inch wide cabinet or a 42-inch wide cabinet. Something else with the trays, I don't have a lot of experience with the Icon trays, but typically where these fail is they'll crack over time, either because they get really cold if your shop's not heated, or maybe from chemicals getting on them, or just time, right? So we've got about 15 years of experience using this foam formulation, so it's not going to get sticky even if you get fuel on it or brake cleaner on it. It shouldn't get sticky. Be careful with brake cleaner, but because it does attack a lot of plastics, but our foam holds up really well. It's not going to get powdery over time. Some of the things else that you get with a foam organizer is we do big finger pockets. And that's so that you can grab the tool easily with one hand, and even if you're wearing mechanic gloves. And then, of course, you'll notice the contrasting color underneath the tool. And that's so you can spot what's missing at a glance. So when you open that drawer, you can tell what's missing. If you notice it right away, you have a much better chance of finding that tool than if you notice that you're missing your 7/32 2 or 3 weeks down the road. It'd be much harder to track that tool down. So the idea is anybody can put the tools away in the right spot. There's no extra spots, so you're not going to have other tools migrating to this drawer. It's always going to hold these tools, and it helps you stay organized with a minimal amount of effort. The second organizer I'm showing here is for the Torx set. Now, the 8-piece Icon Torx set includes a tray just like the metric set does, and you can see the tray is a little bit wider than what the layout we've done. So this layout is meant for the narrow drawer of a 2-bank US General box, like the one I've got behind me. So the US General Series 3 boxes, and this could be the 42-inch box, the 56-inch box, the 72-inch box, or the 15-inch wide side cabinet that you can add on to a US General box. They all have these narrow drawers, 12 3/16 by 19 3/8. Now the previous version, the Series 2 US General boxes, their drawers were about a 1/16 narrower and an 1/8 inch deeper. If you call our customer service people and order through them, not only do they have access to a few more special colors for the background color, but they can also adjust the margins slightly to fit the older US General box. So if you've got a Series 2 box, it's not a problem, but we can make those slight adjustments so that it fits nice in the drawer. You wouldn't want to try and compress this too much. It does compress a little bit, but what you notice, if you really push on it, you're closing up the pockets. You're not really compressing the foam much. It's a pretty stiff foam that we use. So the Icon torque set starts at T10, and there's a T15, T20, T25, T27, T30, T40, and T45. And one last comment, I've been talking about US General boxes, and that's kind of what we had in mind when we designed these layouts. But if you've got an Icon box, either the 56-inch or the 73-inch Icon box, those drawers are 22¼ deep. So this organizer will fit in an Icon drawer, and it'll fill it front to back. Those drawers are pretty wide, but you'll have room. It does fit in that Icon drawer. And then if you want us to cut this on a bigger sheet of foam, we can cut it on a bigger sheet of foam to fill the Icon drawer. I think the narrow bank Icon box, that drawer is about 1 inch wider than this, and then it's about 3 inches deeper. Next, I have 4 screwdriver organizers to show. All 4 of these are based on this Icon 8-piece screwdriver set. One of the things that I like about Icon screwdrivers is the size of the handle. It feels really good in my hand, like I get a real secure grip. And if you compare this to the Snap-on screwdrivers, the soft handle Snap-ons, I think that this ridge is kind of sharper on the Icon, and maybe that contributes to how this feels. Like I feel like I got a real positive grip on that. I've also got some serrations on the tip. They're doing some kind of a end treatment there. As you can see, the chrome is a different color there. So so some things I like about these screwdrivers. So this first layout is 22¼ wide, 19 3/8 front to back. That's again fit a US General Series 3 box. You find that drawer size in a 27-inch box or 42-inch box. And we've taken the 8-piece set, and then we've added a few other sets. So we've got a 4-piece mini screwdriver set, 4-piece mini torque set, and the hook and pick set. We've also added these 2 Icon hex key sets. So this one's not a big space saver, this layout. It's got some space, some margin that we could trim off to fit a smaller drawer. But this is a nice layout. It just spreads everything out so you can easily see what you're looking for. It's got the same big finger pockets like all the other layouts that we do. And, we do the contrasting color, of course. What you've got here is a number 3 Phillips, a number 2 Phillips, a number 1 Phillips, and then the number 2 stubby Phillips. This is a 5/16, a quarter, and a 3/16 slotted screwdriver, and then a quarter stubby. So the mini sets that we've kind of added to fill this out, they've got 2 cabinet tip screwdrivers. So this is an 1/8 and a 3/16. And these are kind of nice, especially if you work on electronics or in a control panel on a machine where you have to tighten a screw on a terminal block. That these to have 2 sizes of cabinet tip screwdrivers, really accommodates the different sizes you run into in an electrical enclosure. And then this is a P1, and then the mini set gives you a P0 Phillips. Then on the torques, I think we've got T20, T15, T10, and a T8 torques. That's that mini torque set. And then the pick and hook set adds just a straight pick. And then this is a 45 pick. They call it a 45 pick, but it's really it's got 2 bends in it. So some people call that a compound pick. It's nice for getting an O-ring out of a groove. And then this is a 90-degree pick, and then this is a hook. So adding those 12 mini screwdrivers gives you some extra capability. And then we added the 2 hex key sets. So Icon has these color-coded sets where they've color-coded the different sizes, supposedly make it easier to find the size you're looking for. These are also longer than some of the other Icon hex keys, and they're ball end. So those 2 sets, we got a metric set and an SAE set. So that's the first layout. Now, we looked at this and said, you know, this is just about every screwdriver that Icon makes. I almost think we could get this into a narrow drawer on that US General box. So we worked on that a little bit and we came up with these other 3 layouts. So what we've got, this one is sized for an Icon drawer, so the narrow bank on an Icon box. This one is sized for the narrow bank on a US General Series 3 box. It's just a 1/16 wider than the Series 2 box. So if you contact our customer service people, they can get this made on a sheet of foam that's just a hair smaller. I think for the Series 2, we'd go an 1/8 inch deeper. We go a 1/16 narrower, so it fits in the Series 2. But this one was tough to get this all laid out in one drawer. But I'll put the tools in this in a second so you can see how that works. And then this one, we took out the hook and pick set, took those 4 mini hook and picks out to get it down a little bit smaller. So if you've got a Craftsman box or another brand box where you need to fit in a slightly smaller drawer, this one can be trimmed a little bit smaller, especially the depth. It's more like an 18-inch deep cabinet that might only have 15 to 16 inches of depth. That's why we created this layout. So let me put the screwdrivers in here quick so you can see how everything fits. So we've got the big 5/16 slotted and the number 3 Phillips here. And then we tuck the stubbies in. So quarter stubby, number 2 Phillips. And then your go-to number 2, well, so that's the quarter. Here's the most, this is probably the screwdriver you grab the most, your number 2 Phillips. These right in the front of the drawer. Number 1 Phillips, and then this is 3/16 slotted. And then next we do number 1 Phillips mini, number 0 Phillips, and then this is the 1/8 inch cabinet tip and the 3/16 cabinet tip. Let's see, next we go Torx, T20, T15. As T10, and the little guy is T8. And then on the hook and pick, this one, most of these, we like to airproof as much as we can, but these are all exactly the same blade length, same handle size. There's not a lot we can do. The straight pick is actually a little bit longer, so he needs to go right there. We got the hook, the 90-degree pick, and the 45-degree pick. And you can see what we've done is we've kind of cut a big opener there so that the picks aren't digging into the foam. So that one is our tightest layout that fits all 12 minis along with the 8-piece Icon screwdriver set. To order a foam organizer, go to FoamFitTools.com, click on Tool Organizers, and then look for the blue Icon filter. Click that filter button, it'll show you all the designs we made for Icon tools. We're working on wrenches next. I have a few done, but after we get a few more wrench organizers created, we'll shoot a video for those as well. So subscribe if you haven't already, and so that you'll see that video when it comes out. And I appreciate you watching this, and let us know if you have any questions.